Since its existence was revealed by the New York Times in 2017, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, AATIP, which was funded by the Defense Intelligence Agency or DIA, has been the subject of fervent curiosity from UFO disclosure advocates, government transparency activists, and journalists alike. Namely, the agency has insisted in recent years that AATIP was not looking at UFO-related phenomena, which former employees working on the program say is simply not true. And now a new tranche of official documents recently released to the public by the DIA through FOIA request show the research priorities of the secretive Advanced Aerospace Weapons Systems Application Program with, for example, wormholes, antigravity, and invisibility cloaks.
Section 51.
According to newly released documents, the research priorities of the secretive Advanced Aerospace Weapons Systems Application Program, AATIP, were dealing with wormholes, anti-gravity, and invisibility cloaks. Some of these documents were released several weeks ago to John Greenwald at the website theblackvault.com. AATIP, for Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, and AATIP appear to have been in practice almost interchangeable. AATIP was the name of the overall program, whereas AATIP was the name of the contract that DIA awarded for the production of technical reports under AATIP. The nearly 1,600 pages of documents released publicly are a mix of scientific research, contracts, presentations, briefings, and memos related to the program. There are also many documents written for or by former Senator Harry Reid, who was responsible for the creation of the program, that detail meetings about AATIP or AATIP, argue for or against certain research or contracts, and the like. In many cases, documents prepared for the DIA about the theoretical applications of certain technologies were prepared by a person or entity whose name is redacted. Those documents are available in the description below. The documents make clear that the AATIP was focused on studying the defense and military capabilities of a variety of exotic speculative technologies, including invisibility cloaking, traversable wormholes, stargates, negative energy, anti-gravity, high-frequency gravitational wave communications, and an obviously never carried out proposal to tunnel a hole through the moon using nuclear explosions. Gravity is the bane of aerospace transportation, one DIA reference document reads. None of these technologies ever seem to have gotten remotely close to being a reality as far as we know. The documents included in the FOIA are fascinating for two reasons. The first is that the research is pretty weird, and the other is that AATIP and AATIP weren't doing much of that research in-house. Both programs relied in large part on contract research conducted by an arm of a private company, Bigelow Aerospace Advanced Studies, or BAAS, owned by eccentric hotel magnate Robert Bigelow. BAAS is now defunct, but Bigelow Aerospace is still operational. Bigelow was a personal friend of Reid and lobbied for the creation of the AATIP program. He owned the infamous Skinwalker Ranch, a location said by some UFO enthusiasts to be a hotbed of paranormal activity and others to be a hotbed of a particular kind of hot air for about 10 years. Bigelow is also known for having a keen interest in life after death. Just 6 months after BAAS was created, Reid created funding for AATIP and drafted the AATIP contract, Bass was the sole bidder for the contract and was awarded $10 million for the first year. The documents raise further questions, which have already been swirling for years, about the government's allocation of millions of dollars to a set of programs that seem to have ultimately accounted to very little, at least publicly. Titles of 37 research projects covered under the AATIP were first released in 2019, following of FOIA request filed by Stephen Aftergood, director of the Federation of American Scientists Project on Government Secrecy. Aftergood, too, was critical of aspects of the program, saying that the whole contracting process for this program was irregular from start to finish. The AATIP contract sounds like it was a good deal for the contractor, but it would be hard to argue that either the military or the public got their money's worth. But what was released this week is a far more in-depth series of records, giving status updates on various projects and outlining why, precisely, the US government was so interested in things like invisibility cloaks. They also reveal the enormous amount of effort former Senator Reid put into championing the AATIP and AATIP, and into trying to keep the work they did classified. Reid died in December 2021. In 2020, Reid said that what had publicly been released to that point only scratched the surface of what the Pentagon knows about UFOs and advanced technology, and he publicly said that he believed, at the time, that far more information should be released publicly.
Given the current rate of success, the continued study of these subjects will likely lead to technology advancements that in the immediate near term will require extraordinary protection. Ultimately, the results of AATIP will not only benefit the US government, but I believe will directly benefit Department of Defense in ways not yet imagined. The technological insight and capability gained will provide the US with a distinct advantage over any foreign threats and allow the US to maintain its preeminence as a world leader.
It seems clear that even more documents about these two linked and deeply weird programs will be forthcoming. In early March, for instance, the website The Black Vault also learned that the Barack Obama Presidential Library was in possession of thousands of pages of materials, although those could take years to be released. The more time passes, the closer we seem to get to the truth about potential connections with alien entities. Section 51 is on social networks, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Don't forget to hit that like button and that bell button too. Don't forget to share the video and to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. This was DOZgeek with Section 51. I'll be back really soon. Open your eyes, watch the sky, live long and prosper.